Okay, are y'all cleaning out like I am? I bought the little lady some cubby storage shelves, and now we have to make cubbies to go in their cubby storage. But first, always remember to share this so it was saved to your profile, and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. I hope y'all been cleaning out like me. Cleaning out, reorganizing, all of the things. So I bought all of these 12 by 12 cubby storage, kind of like what's behind me, a little different for the little lady's playroom. But I need baskets to go in them. And yes, of course I can buy some, and I did purchase a few, but they're kind of expensive. And I thought, well, maybe I can make them. So I cut out my pieces of fabric, and that's what we're gonna do today. I have 4 pieces of fabric, 22 inches wide, 18 inches long. Do you see that? Then I cut out a 5-inch by 5-inch square on one side of it. So I have 2 of this. This is the lining. And then I have 2 of the front. We're going to start by, what y'all didn't see is I cropped this video because I sewed it wrong and had to start over. So this is the starting over part. We have 2 pieces of fabric. We're going to put, this is the lining, we're gonna put them pretty side to pretty side. Mine doesn't have a right and wrong. This is some canvas fabric that I had. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sew up each side, and we're gonna sew across the bottom. But this is the lining of my basket, so I'm gonna leave a hole at the bottom, because if I leave a hole in my lining, then I can turn it right side out from the hole in the lining instead of leaving it at the top. Before y'all start yelling at me, yes, it's a Sharpie, yes, it's gonna stain. I'm gonna stick it in my seam allowance so you can't see it, but I did put a mark. So I wanna sew here, and then I wanna sew up both sides. I'm gonna do that for my lining. Straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when you start and when you stop, because my grandma said so. This is cotton canvas that I'm using. It's a little bit heavier weight, stands up a little better, and it's normally what I make my pillows out of also. But you can use regular cotton fabric. Use what you have, and then get something different. Yeah, right. Isn't that what we all say? Okay. Now, this is what we have. This is the lining of our basket. So now we're going to do the corners. Now, all we're going to do, so this is our fabric, right? We have it 2 sides. We've just sewn here and here. We're going to pick this corner up, in this corner, and we're going to pull it out like that, and we're going to straight stitch. And do you see how mine are off? It's a little longer on this side and a little shorter on that side. I don't care. I'm just sewing it, but you do want to make sure you catch all of your fabric, both layers, the whole way down. If it's not perfect, that's fine, but you do want to sew through both layers or you'll have a hole in your basket, and we don't want that. Now we're going to sew our other corner the same way. Okay, bum, bum, bum. Here's the lining of our bag. Now let's do the front of our bag. So the front of our basket, I have some more cotton canvas, and I put some fusible fleece on the back of mine. Now, the fusible fleece I used was just scraps, and it doesn't have to be perfect because I just wanted it to have a little bit more structure so it would stand up. And I'm gonna sew it just like I sewed the inside, except I'm not gonna leave a hole this time. I'm gonna sew all the way across the bottom and all the way across up both sides. Straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when I start and when I stop, with my pretty sides together across the bottom and up both sides. I'm using these baskets for cubby storage for the little lady's playroom because we have all the pieces, but they would also be wonderful as a gift basket to put your treasures in and then give somebody, and they can reuse it. Okay, so now we're going to sew our corners the same way. We're going to pick it up. These are our 2. This is the center of the square that we cut out. We're going to grab it on both sides, pull it open flat, and we're going to sew across here and then across the other one. Same way, straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when you start and when you stop. These are super, super easy to make. Very beginner friendly. If you've never made anything, this is a great project for you, and it's super useful. Okay, so now we've sewn the inside and the outside of our bag. We're going to turn our lining pretty side out, and remember we have a hole in it, and we're going to put it down in our our basket. It's a basket. We're making a basket, people, or Tammy, we're making a basket, Tammy. So now we're going to put it in here. Make sure it's pretty side to pretty side. Pretty side to pretty side. And we're going to sew all the way around the outside of it. One complete circle, because remember, I'm not using this seam to turn my bag right side out, because I'm going to turn it right side out from the hole I left in the lining. So straight stitch all the way around. And there's no secret to this, just slow and steady. I love something that's super practical and super fast, something I can make really easily and somebody can use over and over, or I can use over and over, and this is one of those projects. We've sewn it, now we're going to turn it right side out. I'm going to find the hole I left in my lining, and I left it in the bottom. Now, when you leave your hole in your lining, you can leave it anywhere. You can leave it in the side or in the bottom like me, but you do want to make sure you don't leave it in a corner or it will not close up so nicely. But if you leave it in the bottom like I did, that works great, or the side would work great too. Now, I'm just going to pull my basket out of that hole. Now, I'm going to close the hole up by just folding it in, and I'm going to sew right down that. And I'm going to sew a little closer to the edge, like a top stitch. There's nothing fancy about a top stitch. It's just a straight stitch sewn a little closer to the edge. Now, we're going to push our lining down into our basket. Bum, bum, bum. So now what we're going to do is fold this over so that it's nice and pretty. We're going to iron that down, and then we're going to come back and top stitch all the way around it. I'm going to go iron mine. You go iron yours. I'll be right back. I'm back. Now, we're going to top stitch right close to the edge all the way around, and that's it. Then we're going to put all of our treasures in it. These baskets were so fun to make and so easy. I made 1,000,000 of them, and I made all of mine match, and now I wish I would have made them all different. Okay, now let's look at what we made. So here's our basket. Stands up pretty good with the fusible fleece. I rolled ours down because I really needed kind of like a half basket. I needed it to go in the cubbies, and I needed it to stand up so I could put their toys in it and they could see it. Now, you could make these, obviously it's reversible. You could make these any way you want them. They would be super cute. Patchwork together, it would be precious with a whole bunch of different mismatched ones on a shelf. I can't wait to see the ones you make. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.